Hi guys, the Business and Trade Secretary Kemi Badenoch is, I believe, another one of these Tories who collected enough coupons to be made a minister, or in this case Secretary of State, a bit like Therese Coffey and Dominic Raab. Merit didn't come into the equation, of course. So she was on Sky News promoting the UK joining the CPTPP, a Pacific trading bloc. In this clip I want to show you, she told barred-faced lies on rule making and rule taking, and then she dismissed the issue of lowering the tariff on palm oil, which, while can be produced sustainably, is fueling deforestation in poorer countries. Have a listen to this.
What is the risk that there could be imports that come in that go against some of our standards, our food standards, for example, or our ethical standards? Okay, what about our ethical standards?
On things like food standards and ethical standards, the difference between this and being in the EU is that we make the rules and regulations on our standards.
No, you don't. If you're part of the trading bloc, you align with the rules and regulations of the trading bloc. In the same way that if you're in the EU, you align with the rules and regulations within the EU. You don't, once you leave the EU and then join another trading bloc, you set the rules. No, you don't set the rules. You don't decide on what the standards on what's imported and exported. The trading bloc decide that, if you want to be part of that trading bloc. Do Brexiteers not understand how this works? Obviously, as a Brexiteer, she doesn't.
We have quotas which say what the amounts are, but people have to meet our standards. And
They don't meet your standards. They meet the bloc standards. And you have to meet the bloc standards. You've given up sovereignty on this. And I hope there's going to be a referendum, because Brexiteers banged on about we need to leave the EU to get our sovereignty back. So if these Brexiteers in government are giving up sovereignty, I presume there's going to be a referendum. And I presume people like Nigel Farage and Jacob Rees-Mogg and Boris Johnson will be demanding a referendum, right?
That's what's good about it.
Well, so what about palm oil from Malaysia,
Yes.
then, for example? Palm oil, obviously, is seen to be responsible for destroying habitats, being very bad for the environment. You're saying that there won't be lower tariffs on palm oil coming into this country,
there are. That's what happens. You have to make trade-offs. But we take in already just about 1%. I think it's actually slightly less than 1% of Malaysian palm oil exports. Moving the tariff from 2% to 0% is not what's going to cause deforestation.
So why are you doing it? The trade-off. See, why is it always the case that the UK compromises and the others don't compromise so much? Isn't it interesting? It's almost as if Brexiteers will just compromise on everything just to get a piece of paper that says, look, we have a trade deal, or look, we're part of a trading bloc. We saw it with New Zealand. We saw it with Australia. Australian and New Zealand farmers were celebrating. British farmers were crying. As I said, it's almost as if the Brexit negotiators don't give a crap. They just want a piece of paper. We'll sign up to anything. We'll eliminate tariffs on palm oil, for example. Eliminate them. Who does this benefit? Does it benefit the UK? No, it doesn't. It benefits the exporters in Indonesia in this case.
And actually, the standards which are set by this government, by the Department for the Environment, is what's going to dictate what comes into the country. But also,
no. Once again, you don't dictate. Yes, you can dictate what comes in, but you have to follow the standards set by the bloc, not your own standard. Your standard will align with the bloc. That's the point of joining a bloc. Once again, does she not understand this? I think she does. She's just pretending not to.
Being in the trade bloc means that you're going to have more influence on sustainability. Palm oil is actually a great product. It's in so many of the things we use. This is not some illegal substance we're talking about.
What a weird framing. A legal substance. Of course it's not. There are problems with palm oil. Now, as I said at the beginning, and I'll leave a link to an article from the WWF about palm oil. I recommend you read it. It can be produced sustainably, but at the moment there are serious issues around it. Now, does anyone honestly believe that the Brexiteers are going to go, well, we're not going to import unsustainable palm oil. Like, these are the people who are destroying the NHS, privatizing it, ripping up protections for workers, allowing water companies to pump raw sewage into the sea. Do you think these Brexiteers care about environmental standards in other countries? Really?
And actually, there are other crops in the EU that are causing deforestation that fit within EU rules. So we need to do what is right for our country and make the decisions which are going to be of benefit to the future and help to influence those things that we want to change. So I think it's still overall a very good thing.
This deal will add about £1.7 billion to the UK economy over 15 years. Not 1.7 billion per year, 1.7 over 15 years. Compare that with the cost Brexit is inflicting upon the UK. 100 billion per year. Not 100 billion over 15 years, 100 billion per year. And on the other side, you have plus 1.7 over 15 years. And the Brexiteers are claiming it as a win. Once again, I think there's going to be a lot of compromise on the UK side in order just to get a piece of paper. And I hope the next government, probably a Labour government, will undo this because it's bad for Britain. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.